Hello, I welcome you to my channel. In this video, I will discuss some important issues regarding lectureship test for English. In this video, I will give general introduction and then I will discuss tentative division of marks, different fields and topics to be covered, the importance of general knowledge, and in the end, I will give you a list of recommended books that you need to use for preparation of this exam. English lectureship test guidelines. Very important thing is that you should prepare for this exam systematically. If you think that you can appear in this exam and clear it without preparation or without planning, then you are wrong. In order to clear this exam, you must give it sufficient time and you must cover all the areas that are tested in this exam. Without planning, you can never succeed. If you think that you can prepare 3 or 4 days before the date of exam, then chances are that you may not be able to perform according to your expectations. So it's very important that you start preparing early and you cover all important aspects of this test. Test for lectureship requires comprehensive study of major aspects of literature, linguistics, and grammar. And of course, these days, general knowledge is also part of the test. Tentative division of marks. This is very important that you must know beforehand what are the areas that are you going to be tested in the examination. The first thing is general knowledge and analytical ability. This will carry 20 marks and I will discuss it towards the end of this presentation. Then English literature MCQs, that will be the major portion. Uh, it can carry 40 marks, it can carry even 50 or 60 marks as well. As I mentioned that this is a tentative division and the examiners usually focus on English literature. And if you are appearing in a FPSC exam, it's quite possible that you might get questions only on English literature and linguistics or grammar, and there may not be any part related to general knowledge. But in PPSC, the trend is that they give general knowledge question as well in this examination. Linguistics is very important, especially phonetics and phonology. Note, this division of marks is given only to serve as a guideline for preparation. It's not official PPSC division of marks. It's not even recommended by FPSC. First and most important, you must focus on history of English literature. Studying history of English literature does not mean just focusing on dates, historical periods, writers, and their works. It involves an understanding of major genres, movements, trends, concepts, and terms also. Students should focus on the major works of the major authors. Characters and their role in literary works must also be focused. Quotations from the text are of vital importance, and even in the GRE subject English, quotations they become the most important thing. Important quotations of all the major authors from their representative works must be prepared. MCQ type questions are a must, and they are the most standard questions that we get in such kind of examinations. New areas to be focused. Now, earlier the focus was only on the traditional English literature, but with the advent of post-colonial literature and Pakistani literature in English, these two disciplines also are focused in the test, and you can expect some questions on Pakistani literature and post-colonial literature as well. Then terms are very important. Good command over literary terms is a must. Terms from both literary criticism and literary theory should be prepared. Post-colonial terms are also very important. So you must prepare at least 100 terms, both from literary theory and post-colonial terms. This is very important. And linguistics is also part of the examination. Usually it carries marks around from 10 to 20. And the area that examiners never miss, that is phonetics and phonology. Phonetics and phonology are terms from phonetics and phonology are imperative. You must prepare at least 20 important terms from phonetics and phonology. Terms from general linguistics, social linguistics, psycholinguistics, and applied linguistics are also important. Discourse analysis is also important. So I would suggest that you should prepare at least 75 to 100 terms for linguistics as well, and they will be good enough to get you through the examination. Grammar of course is the backbone of language and is very essential ingredient of the examinations. Definitions and usages, correction of incorrect sentences, grammatical terms are very important as I told you earlier. Major errors in the use of parts of speech should be focused. Tenses, conditional tenses, gerund, infinitive, participle, subjunctive. You must be aware of all these terms and their different aspects. Of course, there is reported speech and active passive type as well. Vocabulary items have become an essential part of all exams. Vocabulary has become very important in all the exams now. Students should not take it for granted. Idioms, pair of words, and prepositions, etc., they must be focused upon. Now I come to the last part, and this is very important: general knowledge and analytical ability. It's very imperative to cover this portion for two reasons. One thing is that whichever exam that you might appear, the questions on general knowledge and analytical ability will be there. And even if you prepare for interview, you must go through all these things. The questions on general knowledge are always an essential part of interview as well. So if you are preparing for any job, you must start with general knowledge and analytical ability portion of the exam. It is very imperative. It has become very crucial in today's scenario. Now, even in CSS, they have added this portion. General knowledge, the candidates are expected to display a general awareness of what and where of things, places, when and where of events, how things work, important personalities. Essentially, it is a test of general reading experience and intellectual curiosity of the candidates. So for this, you should study English newspaper regularly. This is very important. Then you should also focus on who is who, what is what type questions. Pakistan studies, very important, especially the time period from 1857 to 1947. You must know all the important personalities, all the important movements, and all the important dates. Candidates are expected to have basic knowledge of the historical perspective of the Pakistan movement, major events in the struggle for Pakistan, prominent personalities, post-independence problems, constitutional developments, foreign policy, economy, defense, Kashmir, and other territorial disputes. It is very important that if you are preparing for this exam, you must cover all these things. Even if you are preparing for interview, you cannot prepare for interview ignoring Pakistan studies. It is such an essential part of the preparation nowadays. Next is Islamic studies. The candidates are expected to display basic knowledge of the Holy Quran, Hadith, life and times of the Holy Prophet, Khulafai Rashidin, Arkan Islam, broad knowledge of important events in Islamic history, and prominent personalities. Current affairs. The candidates are expected to display a basic knowledge and understanding of history, politics, and international affairs, deemed necessary to understand current affairs. As I told you in the introduction of general knowledge, that you must study English newspaper daily and regularly, and you should focus on who is who, what is what type questions, and you should write down 5 to 10 names of places, things, organizations, acronyms in a notebook. And if you do this within 50 days, you will have your own document carrying all the important general knowledge questions. Geography, students generally don't understand the importance of geography. Geography is always part of written test and interview. You must focus on the geography of Pakistan. Okay, land, rivers, okay, and these mountains, our boundaries, neighbors, all the details. These must be on your fingertips. And in the end, I will share the list of recommended books for history of English literature. If you ask me to recommend one book, then that will be J. Long, because it covers so many aspects. It also carries a large number of quotations as well. Then Pramod Kenai's book is also important. It is written in the postmodern and post-colonial perspective. David Dashi's has, of course, always been there, but this is a big book. So I would recommend, if you want to study just one book, good book, then J. Long is enough. If you have studied some other book during your studies, then you should go for that. Then you don't need to change your book. But if you want to consult, you can go ahead. For literary terms, if you are not familiar with literary terms, you must start with Market Degree. It's a small book and it gives very concise and comprehensive definitions of all the literary terms, and it can be enough. But if you want to develop a better understanding of literary terms, and if you want to cover a larger number of literary terms, you must use Penguin Dictionary of uh, literary terms as well, not only literary linguistic terms, but of literary terms as well. So Penguin dictionaries for both literary terms and linguistic terms, they are very helpful and they are very important for understanding both these disciplines. For post-colonial studies, I would recommend Key Concepts in Post-Colonialism by Ashcroft et al. Actually, this is the only authentic book that is available in the market and is also available online for free. And for grammar portion, I would recommend High School Grammar. And then last but not least, you must buy any lectureship guidebook available in Pakistan. And one thing that I would like to recommend you is that you must buy one book from the bazaar or market, or you should consult one book, that is the books that are available in the market for one paper exam. These books, they cover everything and they are very important. If you are a genuine student and if you are genuinely interested in clearing this test, you must focus on this book as well. You must prepare properly, systematically, and you should give yourself enough time for the preparation of this exam if you want to clear this. Okay, good luck. Thank you.